I'm Marianne, a licensed mental health counselor, and your host on the When Life's Unfair podcast. In this space, we will explore the notion of fairness, discovering how life's advantages can also have disadvantages. We will examine fairness and reveal how life's challenges can drive meaningful change. Join me for insightful discussions that can promote personal growth. Have you ever been laid off or fired? I have, and it was one of the most unfair, gut-wrenching experiences of my life. I still remember it clearly. I was on vacation, heading home, when I made the mistake of checking my work email. Hindsight is 20/20, right? Well, I opened it up and just an ordinary looking message. Inside was a notification that I had been fired. No conversation, no explanation, just an email telling me I no longer had a job. That was the moment my vacation ended. When I got home, I took a long shower and cried. I was devastated. My income was gone. Everything I had poured into that job, my time, my heart, my energy, suddenly felt meaningless. I didn't realize how much of my identity was wrapped up in that role until it was just ripped away. I felt like my reputation was ruined. My emotions spiraled, grief, anxiety, shame. And then came the fear. How was I going to get another job with fired on my record? Even when the reasons are questionable, the stigma stays. I was so embarrassed that I didn't want anybody to even know. I didn't and don't want to be the gossip of the town, right? I didn't want to risk my future. It took a long time for me to process what happened because the shame felt like it swallowed everything else. I felt worthless. I couldn't even drive by the job site without feeling sick. And the betrayal hurt deeply. 1 month, they gave me a $500 bonus. The next month, they fired me. It was confusing, painful, and completely unfair. So, how did I get through it? Well, first, I found safe people to talk to, friends who let me process without judgment. I journaled everything. I shifted my focus towards gratitude, even for the smallest things. Slowly, I realized that my value, it didn't come from a job. It comes from who I am, who I was made to be. To figure out who I am, especially after being fired, and realizing my identity was never meant to be tied to a job, I had to go back to the basics. I started asking myself the simple, honest questions. What did I love as a child? What fascinated me? What felt natural before life just got complicated? Because the truth is, the most authentic pieces of who we are often show up long before adulthood layers cover them. When I returned to those early moments and those early memories, I began rediscovering the parts of myself I had forgotten, and that clarity changed everything. At 44, I had made a decision. I went back to school for my Master's of Science in Mental Health Counseling. I worked at Starbucks from 3:30 a.m. to 7 a.m., went to clinicals from working with the homeless from 10:30 to 5, and then headed to class from 6 to 10. It was a long day, and I did it in 4 years, not 2. I graduated at the age of 48. Losing that job felt like the end of everything. but it was actually the beginning of the life I was meant for. I'm wondering if any of you have had some of the same experiences as I have. I'm wondering if you're out there, my dear friends, asking yourself, what do I do? I'm wondering if fear surrounds you. Well, I'm also wondering, maybe this is an opportunity for you to go a different direction. Maybe it's an opportunity for you to do something that you've really always wanted to do that you totally forgot about. I challenge you today to sit back and to think, what was I made for? Where does my identity lie? And I also hope you are left with peace today, especially if you're in the middle of a whirlwind like losing a job. I look forward to hearing from you and telling me how you got through. Thank you for listening to this episode of When Life's Unfair podcast. I'm Marianne, and if you would like more information, please visit www.storieswithmarianne.com. I look forward to hearing from you. Till our next episode, I leave you with this Irish proverb. May the road rise to meet you. May the wind always be at your back. May the warm rays of sun fall upon your home, and may the land of a friend always be near.